What up, y'all? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. It's your boy Ty. I need to let you guys know a little secret. I miss you guys incredibly. I really miss you guys. I am feeling the cooped upness right now. I am feeling the tightness of living in my house 24/7 without ever being able to leave. But luckily, this week was good. We're getting good weather. It snowed, and it was 65 degrees today. And it snowed like 2 days ago. Can you say what up? Not a fake dartboard. True dartboard. I'll show you. True dartboard. See? It's a real dartboard. I didn't fake the dartboard. It's real. This whole thing is real. That's a real light switch on this side. See? Oh, you can't really see the night difference. Anyways, what up? Yeah, I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. I hope you guys aren't feeling it. In all honesty, I hope you aren't feeling what I'm feeling, but I know a lot of us are. So welcome to Sunday night. Hopefully it gives you guys like a 2-hour just relief of like the grind. A lot of you started online school, so let me know in the chat, how is online schooling going? How's online schooling going? Some of you guys started. I heard that it wasn't mandatory. Don't know if that's true. If it is true, that's kind of cool. But I bet a lot of your parents are making you do it, which I am sorry for. But let me know how it's going. How is the online schooling? How's being cooped up? Let me know in the chat. How are you feeling? I'm feeling a little cooped up. Yeah, faked as in all in the middle. Oh no, those are all real. But anytime it's a bad shot, I rethrow it. So, gotcha. Katrina, you're saying nothing different because you're homeschooled. That's true. That is, homeschoolers are like laughing at everybody right now saying, welcome. But not mandatory. Man, that's good. That's good. Anyways, let's get on for tonight. I've got some fun stuff. I wanted to wait and kind of let everybody get on because what we're doing tonight is your typical night of Sunday nights. But we're going to play a game, and what we're going to do is this. We're going to play a trivia game, and it's going to be the Office trivia. Now, a lot of us are cooped up right now, and a lot of us are binge watching. None of us are binge working unless you're grinding on that Fortnite grind. But we're binge watching all sorts of Netflix shows. I just watched The Office through and through for the first time like last month. And I did not realize I was very naive and said, you know what? I'm not going to watch this show because I think it's dumb. And I was dumb because the show is great. So hopefully you've watched The Office. If you do, you are going to be tested in your knowledge right now. We're going to play a game called The Office Trivia. It's 15 questions. You're going to get 10 seconds per question and then 5 seconds to show you the answer. You need to be honest. Be honest about how many of these you get right. Okay? How many of these you get right. The way this game works is you're going to answer them on your own and put them in your phone. You can put them on a piece of paper. You can just keep in your head how many you get right. It's 15 questions. The one person that gets the most amount of questions correct, gets a pizza delivered to their house right now. Like, I literally have Hungry Howie's sitting here. Or if you want a different pizza service, that's fine too. I have it sitting on my computer with an order ready to get sent to you. It's ready to be sent to you right now. All you need to do is put in your address. So once we're done, once we get into the message, we are going to send a pizza to you. It's going to get delivered to your house tonight for you to enjoy. On me, free pizza. Who doesn't love free pizza? Welcome to youth ministry. Anyways, we are going to play this game. So like I said, I'm going to start it here in a second. You get 10 seconds per question. So let's just do this thing. So y'all ready? Let me know that you're ready in the chat. And then we'll get started. Once I see a couple readies, we're gonna game time this. Let's see. Sorry, I forgot to put my face in there, so I need to put my face in there. So we're gonna put my face down here. Okay, you guys are all ready? Here we go, leaders. Hey, you're in on this, so if you want to play, get yourself a pizza sent to you. All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Game time. All right, so this is The Office, The Office trivia, where we're going to test your skills on your knowledge of The Office. I've watched the show once through. Here's the first question. Scranton, this is an easy one. Scranton is in what state? Is it A, New York, B, Ohio, C, Maryland, D, Pennsylvania? Go ahead. You can leave your answers in the chat if you want, or you can write them down somewhere. It's all good. Just remember how many you get right. Let's see what the answer is. Scranton is in what state? It is in D, Pennsylvania. All right, number 2. What is Michael Scott's middle name? Is it A, Dwight? That would be awesome. B, Gary, C, James, or D, Scott? Michael Scott Scott, Michael James Scott, Michael Gary Scott, or Michael Dwight Scott? It is B, Gary. What crop does Dwight's farm primarily produce? Another easy one. A, onions, B, beans, C, beet, or D, potatoes? What do you guys think? Is it onions, beets, beans, or potatoes? Dwight's farm primarily produces beets. I need to time that better. But beets. He makes beets. He's a beet farmer. Duh. Beets. I almost ruined that. Whatever. Dwight is briefly fired from Dunder Mifflin. Where does he work during this time? Is it A, Office Max, B, Toys R Us, C, Staples, or D, Applebee's? How many of y'all miss going to any of those stores right now? I do. It was C, Staples. You know, he goes in and he makes a ruckus and he gets all mad and then he goes back. Which of the following celebrities did not make an appearance on the show The Office? A, Jim Carrey, B, Conan O'Brien, C, I can't even say this guy's name anytime. I can't even say it right. Or D, Dwayne Johnson. It wasn't him. It was D, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It was Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Jackson, you got that wrong. Come on. Which Dunder Mifflin branch did Jim briefly transfer to? A, Akron, Stanford, B, C, Nashua, D, Buffalo. What was it? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what it was. Was it B? It was B, Stanford. Come on, he's transferred and then he came back. What disease is discovered in Meredith after Michael hits her with his car? Is it A, scurvy, B, rabies, C, chickenpox, or D, halitosis? I definitely think it was D, halitosis. That makes the most sense if you ask me, okay? But it was B, rabies. If you know, they end up running like a 5K for, I can't even remember it. What is the name of the screenplay that Michael's writing? Michael writes a screenplay and he writes a movie and it became a real one. Is it A, The Office Spy, B, Threat Level Midnight, C, Chase the Dream, or D, The Final Stop? What is it? B, Threat Level Midnight. What is the exclusive club that Pam, Oscar, and Toby established? What's the exclusive club? Part of my Taco Bell drinking. A, the High Tea Club. B, the Finer Things Club. C, the Literary Elite. Or D, the Elite Readers. What is it? B, the Finer Things Club. The Finer Things Club. All right. Who did not bring a child to work for Take Your Daughter to Work Day? Was it Meredith, Stanley, Toby, or Kevin? Who was it? Who was it? It was D. It was Kevin. He doesn't have children because he's not married. What country does Toby move to for a while before returning to Scranton? Was it A, Fiji, B, Costa Rica, C, Jamaica, or D, Spain? What was it? What was it? Y'all let me know. It was B. It was B, Costa Rica. That's what it was. All right. Who took over for Pam as receptionist when she went to art school? When she went to art school, who took over? Was it A, Ryan, B, Angela, C, Aaron, or D, Meredith? Who was it? You guys let me know in the chat. Who took over for Pam when she went to art school? It was A. It was Ryan. Aaron was later in the show when Pam left. What warehouse equipment did Daryl say was dangerous, but Michael and Dwight wouldn't take him seriously? A, the forklift. B, the binder. C, the baler, or D, the conveyor belt? What was it? It was C, the baler. It was the baler. All right. What is the name of the game where people walk with paper boxes on their feet during the Office Olympics? A, Flonkerton, B, paper skiing, C, Dunderthon, or D, box stepping? What was it? Y'all tell me. What was it? It was A, Flonkerton. Oh, gosh. All right. Next question. Where does Jim propose to Pam? Where does Jim propose to Pam? Is it A, Applebee's? Is it B, Niagara Falls, C, Michael's office, or D, a gas station? What was it? A, B, C, or D? It was D. It was at the gas station. That's where it was. The gas station. That was our last question of the trivia. Some of these were pretty easy. I hope some of these are pretty easy. If you claim to be a if you claim to be an Office fanatic, which I know a lot of you do now. I know a lot of you do. So if you claim to be a fanatic, I hope that you got all of those right. So here's what we're going to do. Here is what we are going to do. Okay? If you got more than 10 correct, you got more, that means you got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, go ahead in the chat and just say, I got more than 10. Let me know I got more than 10. Let me know in the chat. More than 10. If you got more than 10, pretty dope. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. And then in the chat, let me know how many you got right. Let me know how many you got right. Let's just do that. We can look through the chat and figure out. We can figure out. So, you weren't keeping track, Josiah. Come on, my man. Let me know how many of you got 14 or 15 correct. 14 or 15 correct. How many of you got got 14 or 15 correct? If you got more than 14 or 15, go ahead and let me know. Okay, we've got some people here. That got, Justin, you got 15 correct. You got 15 correct? All of them you got correct. Are you, Jackson, you need to go walk over to Justin and you better punch him if he's lying. But not in a way that makes him hurt. Just punch him in a way that annoys him. Josiah, you got 18. I can make a homeschool joke about math, but I won't right now. I'm doing this for you, man. I'm doing this for you. Let me know. Did you get them all correct? Justin didn't reply to all. You didn't necessarily have to reply to them. I said you could if you want, or you could write them on your phone. So, let's see. Only one I got wrong was the desk. I've watched The Office now. That's fair. I made this game with Justin Militello in mind. I'm not gonna lie. But I see some 14s and 15s correct. So here's why I asked if you got 14 or 15, because I'm gonna give some grace. I'm going to give some grace here. Here is what we're going to do, because here is how I'm going to test your true knowledge of the show The Office. And to make it fair, I wanted to keep the top elite into this game. So what you guys can do, all three of you, so I see Nelson, Alex, and Justin. All of you got 14 or 15 correct. So that's like 98-something percent. I don't know what it is. 14 divided by 15 times 100 is what? Somebody tell me. Is a lot of people, a lot of answers correct. You three, you all have my phone numbers. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up a question on my phone. I'm going to tell you the question in a second. But, I'm sorry. Brendan and Jackson. Okay, there's some more. I'm sorry. I missed some of you guys. Some of you guys got more. If you got 14 or 15, here's what we're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you one final question, and you need to text me the correct answer. The first one to text me gets the pizza. I'm giving some grace. Any of you, if you got 14 or 15, I'm giving you some grace. Okay, I'm giving you some grace. That's why I asked. All right. So here is the question. Get your phone out. Get a text message ready for me. Get a text message sent to Ty, the best youth pastor in the world, because Alex, you can Snapchat it to me. Or better yet, here, let's do this. Let's do. I think I could put some text on the screen. Shebang. Phone number. And it's going to be my phone number. I'm putting my phone number out on YouTube, y'all. This is weird. I've never done this in my life. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. So I'm going to ask you a question. You need to. Bam. Oh, there's my phone number. Okay. Oh, that's weird. There's my phone number. Okay, so what you can do is you can text me. You can text me and you say this. That's fair. Christian's kind of calling you out, Justin. You didn't answer in the chat, but I didn't say that was a rule. So, but anyways, 14 or 15, correct. Text me. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ask the question, and I haven't asked yet because I want to make sure everybody's ready. I don't know who 248-520 is. Maybe it's you, Alex. I thought I had your phone number. Pretty sure I do have your phone number, so I don't know if that's you. So here is the question. Have your phone ready. If you're ready, go ahead and give me a ready in the chat. This is for anybody that got 14 or 15 correct. I'm giving you a fair chance. This is a way to say for sure. Yeah, please don't sign me up for anything. Please don't. So you guys better be ready. I'm giving you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here is the question. How many total episodes are there of The Office? First one to answer gets the pizza sent to your house right now. First pizza. I'm waiting. And while I'm waiting, let's do some announcements. All right, I'm going to take my phone number off the screen now. So, I'm going to wait till I get an answer. Oh, let's see who this is. I have an answer. I have a correct answer here. I saw the number. I didn't see who texted it to me first. Oh, Alex coming in with the clutch cargo, man. Correct answer was 201 episodes of The Office, spanning over, I don't remember how many, 8 seasons? Is there 8 seasons? I think 7 or 8 seasons. Alex, I will connect with you. During the message, since I'm not teaching tonight. I will connect with you during the message. Alex, actually, better yet, send me your address, and I will have a pizza delivered to you right when I'm done with this. So, I am going to send you guys a pizza. 9 seasons. No. I said you were gonna send it to me. So yeah, get over it. We'll give away more pizzas though. If that's what you guys want, we'll give away pizzas. I'll Grubhub anything to your house. Let me know in the chat. What would you guys want as a prize delivered to your house if you were to win a game on Sunday nights? Let me know. Anyways, let's get into some announcements here. Here's what's going down this week. We are having some fun stuff happening. Per usual, we have our live stream happening tonight, and we are going to dive into some small groups. We're starting a new series, but I'll talk about that in a second. But here's what's coming up. We have some fun stuff planned for you. We have some fun content we are producing for you. We have some things happening this week. Let me throw just our quarantine schedule up in case you haven't seen it. Where did it go? I don't know where. Oh, here we go. Schedule. Bam. Okay, so we're going live tonight. We've got some leader Q&A tomorrow happening on our Instagram. We have our high school Bible study. And that's happening at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. We have a guys one and a girls one led by Tim and Jeannie. They've been diving through the word. It's awesome to hear updates every week from those leaders about those of you that are involved. So make sure that you guys are plugging in. If you want to dive deeper into your faith, dive deeper into what God says in his word, join that small group. You will not regret it. So Thursday, we're gaming with Ty. This past week, I was partnering up with Nelson and some other guys, and we were playing some Fortnite creative, which was a lot of fun. But I'm down to play some other games. So if you want to play and you want us to play some other games, let me know what you want to play. Or if you want to join next week's creative, let me know. Friday, we're going to have a Netflix party. Let me know in the chat, what do you want to watch on our Netflix party? Let me know. What movie is a good movie to watch? It has to be appropriate. Can't get me fired. Has to be entertaining. I think those are the only parameters. Don't get me fired. It has to be entertaining. All right, let's do this. So that's what we got going on this week. The other thing I want to let you know is we are going to have some fun this week. So here's what I want. Here's another challenge. Here's another competition for you. How many of y'all are on TikTok? I'm on TikTok. I was on TikTok. I went viral once, and then I said I'm done. I'm retiring at the top. But it is fun. But we're going to do a TikTok off something. I don't even know what the name of it was because I thought of it like an hour ago. But we're going to do a TikTok. You send your best TikTok to me. You can send it to the Cbc Students Instagram. You can send it to me personally. You send me your best TikTok this week. Now, this is a TikTok that you create. This is not one that somebody else creates that you found funny or entertaining. You have to create it. And I want to feature the very best ones next week, and then I will have you all vote on the top 3 that I get sent this week. And the winner will receive something delivered straight to their door by a very cute baby and your kind of favorite youth pastor at some point the next week. So, favorite TikTok, not favorite TikTok, best TikTok that you can make, send it to me. We'll feature our top 3 this week. We'll even have submissions voted on Instagram by you guys, and then our top 3 will be voted on Sunday night. So you let me know. Send me your TikToks this week to earn a prize delivered to your house. So that's about it. That's about all we got going on. One thing I want to let you guys know of, I know a lot of students are, I'm going to get a little serious for this one. A lot of students are asking me, hey, are we going to be meeting back in person soon? I don't know. I don't know if we are going to be back in person anytime soon. I don't know. We're kind of just waiting and seeing what happens in the state, what our government does, what the mandates are for being in person and all that fun stuff. But we are going to continue doing this as long as possible. We want to be able to engage with you as much as possible, be connected with you guys as much as possible, keep our small groups going as much as possible. Your small group leaders are on board. They want to be engaging with you as well. So we're going to keep this going as much as possible. As soon as we feel like we are able to, and we feel safe and may feel like it's the right decision to get to re-meet in person, we are going to do that. We are going to do that because I really miss you guys. We really miss you guys. Your leaders miss you so freaking much. Like the live stream and the online stuff is really fun. It was really fun for a couple weeks, and now it's kind of becoming the norm. So it's like, how do we do this better? How do we meet in person, and asking all those questions. So anyways, we will be just keeping you guys updated as we go, per usual. But I wanted to let you guys know that tonight. So Alex, I'm gonna send you your pizza. Let me talk about this series that we're starting. We are starting a series called Atypical. Now, I want to ask you this question. How many of you guys think that your family is a typical family? How many of you guys think that your family is a normal family? I know if I looked at my family, I'd say there's no way on God's green earth is my family normal. Like when I grew up, my parents and my siblings and me, or my wife, me, and Brooks. Like my wife, Brooks, and I. Is that grammar? I'm not in school anymore. Who cares? We're not normal. Nobody's normal. But what we're gonna look through in this series, what we're gonna study in this series, and what we're gonna be thinking through in this series is this: families. We're going to talk about families. We're all cooped up with our families right now. Where some of us are going crazy with our families right now. Not me, because I know my wife's watching this at some point. So, babe, we're not me. But all of you guys, for sure, are going nuts, right? Like, it can be tough to be cooped up with your siblings, with your parents. Like, it's not the normal. It is the normal now, but it hasn't been the normal before in your life. So we want to show, we want to teach, we want to look at what God has done through your not so typical families. And so we're going to start tonight. My boy Mitch is going to be teaching tonight. He recorded a message for us for our first week of Atypical, and he's going to talk about how God uses atypical families. So without further ado, let's get into week 1 of our new series, Atypical.
What is up, guys? My name's Mitch. I am the student ministry guy over at Southline. I hope everyone had an awesome Easter. I know it looked a little different this year, but that can't stop us from thanking God for sacrificing Jesus on the cross for us. I had an awesome Easter, and I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I hope you're not sick of me yet. And if you are, sorry, not much I can do about it. But this week, we're kicking off a new series. And the title of this series is Atypical. And I want to start off the series by talking about something that can be a challenge to talk about. It can be difficult, but I think we can do it. And what I want to talk about is family. And I think right now, we're all struggling a little bit with family, right? We're all cooped up together. We're just clumped together all the time. We're constantly talking and annoying each other. And we're all in this quarantine together. So I know we all feel that pain. But before we continue to talk about family, I want to ask you guys a question. And you guys can drop your answer in the chat box, talk with each other. But I want to ask you guys, if you had to watch a show about families, what would be the show that you would most likely watch? Any show that you like to watch, let us know. Drop it in the chat box. But I came up with a couple on my own. So some of the ones I thought of were like Modern Family, This Is Us, Fuller House, The Addams Family, or Brady Bunch. You know, shows like that. And is there any celebrities that you guys love to watch or you relate to a lot, like the Kardashian family or Chip and Joanna Gaines or Duck Dynasty? That's my favorite, Duck Dynasty. Or a show like Full House. You know, when we watch those shows, we think, you know, these are what normal families look like, right? So if you had to rate your family on how normal they are, what would you say that your family is? Would you say that my family's super normal? Would you say they're kind of normal, or we're not so normal? Or maybe you're like, man, my family is weird. We're not normal at all. And that's okay if that is. But what does a normal family actually look like? Who really knows? And the families we watch on TVs or in movies, they're not usually normal, right? Because normal doesn't make for good entertainment. It would be boring to watch a normal family. And we love watching these dramas on TV. But when it comes to our family, it's a little different. We don't want to see that that drama and that entertainment. We just want a normal family, right? So maybe your family, you know, you feel too normal. And maybe sometimes you wish maybe my family was a little more interesting, or I wish it was a little different. Or maybe your family looks normal on the outside, but there's some not so normal things that you don't really want to talk about. But no matter what kind of family you have, I hope that you know that you and your family are loved by God. And no matter what you think about your family, no one really has a normal family, and that's okay. So as we started this new series and we're talking about family, a show came to my mind, and you might have heard of this show before. It's called Atypical. And it's about this kid, Sam, and he's an 18-year-old boy who has autism. So his family has basically built their lives around caring and loving for Sam while they're still trying to be a normal, typical family, right? But as Sam starts to grow up, he starts to want a little more independence. He doesn't want mom and dad telling him how to live his life all the time. And he wants the ability to make his own decisions, and he wants a girlfriend. And during this whole journey that Sam's going on figuring out who he is without his parents, the rest of his family is left to kind of deal with their own ideas of what it means to be a typical, normal family. And there's one scene in particular where Sam tells a friend, man, sometimes I just wish I was normal. And his friend says to him, well, dude, nobody's normal. When it comes to our families, I think that's a message that a lot of us need to hear more often, because no family is perfect, not even the ones that seem normal on the outside. And if you're anything like me, I'm guessing there's been a time in your life, or maybe even right now, this very second you're watching this, maybe you're saying, man, my family is messed up. My family doesn't understand me. And sometimes maybe you're even saying, I wish I had a different family. But no matter how messed up or imperfect or dysfunctional you think your family is, I have good news. As crazy as it sounds, God can use your family to do great, amazing things. And this sounds kind of crazy, and it sounds like, yeah, right, but wait until you hear some of the families that we're going to talk about in this series. If God can use these families, trust me, he can use your family too. So when we look into scripture, Adam and Eve were the first not so normal family, right? They were the first family ever, actually. So it kind of talks about this in the book of Genesis in the Bible in chapter 2 and 3. So it talks about how God created the heavens and the earth, and he planted the Garden of Eden, which was a place that was perfect. And he created the first man ever, Adam, and Adam was there to take care of the garden. And so Adam would work, and trees started growing, and they sprung up, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil was in the middle of the garden. And God told Adam, you can eat from any tree in the garden, but you can't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So the Lord knew that Adam needed a helper. So he caused Adam to go into this deep sleep, and he took one of the ribs out of his body and actually created a woman from the rib. And her name was Eve. So they were each other's helpers, and they planted the garden and helped it grow. And one day this serpent comes slithering into the garden. And it tells them that, hey, did God really say you can't eat from that tree? And he actually convinced them to eat from the tree that they weren't supposed to. So they eat from the tree, and right away, God knows what they did, and he comes into the garden. And because they disobeyed God, he told them they had to leave the garden. Could you imagine a place where you didn't have to worry about anything? Life was perfect. You had all the food you wanted. You didn't have to worry about making money. Life was just complete peace and happiness all the time, 24 hours a day. That was life for Adam and Eve. And God designed this first family to live really close to God and have that closeness with him and with each other. But because of the decisions they made, everything changed. They lost the innocence they had, and they lost the Garden of Eden and the access they had to God that they ended up taking for granted. And they replaced it with this new feeling of being filled with shame and having a life that was a lot more difficult in this cycle of sin that didn't only impact them, but it would impact the kids that they would have in the future and eventually the entire world. In this family, they started out with so much happiness and the promise of God, right? But their poor decisions, it made them experience a lot of pain, and it messed up a lot of relationships and caused a lot of brokenness in their life. But what was God's response in the midst of this? He was disappointed, and there were consequences for the actions that they made, but God still took care of them. And leaving the Garden of Eden was really hard for Adam and Eve, and they kept moving forward, but their relationship with God grew really distant. And they continued to go deeper and deeper in sin, and life just got really difficult for them, but God never gave up on them. So after leaving the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, they ended up having two sons. And the son's name was Cain and Abel. But this story, you guys probably have heard it before, it's not a real happy one. And in Genesis 4, it talks about Cain and Abel. They were giving their offerings to God. They would, to show how grateful they were to have that relationship, they would give offerings. And so Cain and Abel give their offerings, and Cain felt that God wasn't as grateful for his offering as he was for Abel's. And then in verse 6 of chapter 4, God says to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you don't do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you have to rule over it." So God told this to Cain, and even though Cain heard what God had said to him, he went into a field with his brother Abel one day and he killed his brother. And God came right away because he knew what happened, because God sees everything. And God told him because of what he did, he's no longer going to be able to grow crops. And he made him leave the land they were working on. And has there ever been a time when you've experienced something like this, maybe with your brother and sister? I hope you didn't kill them, but I know we get upset with our siblings, and sometimes we let the emotions that we feel get the best of us, and it's really easy to do it with family members. I remember one time our parents told my sister and I that our grandma was coming over for the day and she was going to spend the day with us. So we got really excited, and we were jumping on the couch waiting for grandma to come, and we hear a knock at the door and grandma's here. And all of a sudden we got really excited, and she walks through the door, and my sister turns around and she punches me square in the nose. I didn't even do anything, but she was so excited and she was acting so crazy because of how excited she was that my grandma had come. She didn't even realize what she had done. And I think sometimes we do things and we regret what we did, but then it's too late and there's consequences for our actions. And Cain let his emotions drive him to do something that was terrible. But his choice led to consequences he would have to deal with for the rest of his life. But we look at God's response to what Cain did, and it's pretty similar to the response that he had to Adam and Eve, which was Cain's parents, right? And God was grieved by the actions that Cain committed, and there were serious consequences, but God still took care of him. And actually, Cain ended up leaving that land and going on to build an entire city of his own. And this is how God's relationship with people started. And this family story, it started with a lot of hope and promise, and they were living in this perfect place, the Garden of Eden. But pretty fast, it became a story of failure after failure, and betrayal and jealousy and getting angry. And when a family has this type of history in it, you might think, what good can possibly come out of this story? Can this family ever get out of this cycle of sin and violence? And there's no way God could ever use them. Can God redeem this family? And this story, it might seem like a tragedy, but their story is greater than the worst moments they're having. And if we look later in the family, many, many years after Adam and Eve first disobeyed God and their son Cain killed his brother, a new baby was added to the family. And does anyone know what that baby's name was? His name was Jesus. And the Bible says that one day he would save his people from their sins. So the birth of Jesus was a fulfillment of the promise that God made to Adam and Eve all the way back in the Garden of Eden. He said that a child would come and crush evil one day. And when Jesus was born, he did that. So the first family ever, they made some huge mistakes, and we've been making big mistakes ever since. But the Bible says where sin is increased, grace is increased all the more. And that's the coolest part about God. Because of what Jesus did on the cross, when we sin, we receive the grace of God. And that's awesome. And God never gave up on Adam and Eve's family, and he's never going to give up on your family either. Whatever mistakes we make, God doesn't leave us or our families hopeless. And that's incredible, isn't it? And Adam and Eve introduced sin to the world, but God used their family to conquer sin forever through Jesus. And that's a crazy reminder that every family, including imperfect families and not so typical families, maybe like yours, they can be used by God. And now that we've talked about Adam and Eve's family a little bit, they were really messed up, right? They were atypical. But I want to talk about your family a little bit. Does your family, when you think about your family, do you think of anything that you have in common with the family of Adam and Eve? Is there any similarities or stories that come to your mind when you think of the family of Adam and Eve and how messed up they were? And when you think of that, how can you think, how do you think that God needs to help your family? What help does your family need from God? Or maybe God has been good to your family and you love the way that God works in your family. How has God been good to your family, even through the times where your family is not typical? You guys are atypical. My family's messed up, but God has been so good to it. Can you think of a time? Let us know. But how do you think God might want to use your family for good in your story? Your job isn't to fix your family. You know, that's not in your power. You can't control that. Only God can. But I think instead, your job is to simply be open to whatever God wants you to do. And he's going to work in you and through you and for the sake of your family. Your role might be small, it might be big. Nobody really knows. And no role matters more than another. Whether it's big or small, your role is important because your family is atypical. It's a not normal family, but no family is normal or perfect. But what if God is calling your family to be even more atypical? Every family has imperfections. Every family has problems and struggles, but typical families, they try to handle them on their own or they just avoid the problems and act like they're not there. Atypical families, on the other hand, they invite God to take their imperfections, the problems they have, and the struggles they deal with, and use them for good. There's no family that's too simple or too messed up or too complex for God to use. Maybe the painful things about your family, they can be fixed. Maybe you'll never see that difficult family member that you know change or come to God. But your family can be used by God to do atypical things in the world, and it might start with you. Because not so typical families, they're often used by God. A lot of the time, God uses families that are messed up or dysfunctional, and your family can be used too, no matter what your family looks like. So before we go, I just want you to think of a few questions. What are some imperfections that your family has that God might be able to use for good? And maybe after you think about that, think about this week. What's one way that I'm going to let God use me for good in my family? What actions can you take this week? How can you be there for your family to create a new cycle of good? How can you make your atypical family be used by God? So I hope you guys like this message. And I know these are stressful, maybe annoying times. You're locked up with your brother and sister and your family or whoever you're at home with right now. But just know that atypical families can be used by God too. I hope you guys enjoyed this message and I hope you guys have awesome small groups. But before we go, would you guys just pray with me? God, we come to you today. We're just so grateful that we can continue to come on this live stream. We can continue to do small groups and interact and just laugh and have fun and talk about the Word of God together. We're so grateful to be able to do that, even in this time of craziness with the coronavirus. But I know that you're going to protect all of us. You're going to keep all of us safe and help bring us back here next week. We're so grateful for what your son Jesus did for us on the cross. And I know that you can use each and every one of us to do good in this world. No matter how messed up our life is, no matter how messed up our family is, or how weird we think our family is, or how annoying we think they are, God can use each and every one of them to do good. We love you so much, God, but it's only because you loved us first. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and we'll see you next week. God bless.
So, as we finish up here, I hope, in all honesty, that what Mitch is saying, and I've even had to remind myself because I'm going crazy. I've told you this. I'm going nuts. Like as we are in this season and we're cooped up with our family and sometimes and maybe even before we got cooped up, we were thinking, what in the world is wrong with my family? I want to remind you that no family is perfect. No parent is perfect. No sibling is perfect. You are not perfect. And so be encouraged by that God can use you. God can use your family. And I hope you find encouragement in that. So as we get to small groups, just one thing on small groups. I want to make sure you have a couple things going for you. The first one is this. Zoom has updated. So make sure whatever device you're on, you update it. The second thing is with this update, it has a little bit of glitching and having problems. People are having problems. Some people are having problems getting in. So if you are having problems getting in, text your small group leader. They will walk through some processes that you can do to get into the Zoom chat. So don't all blow up my phone because I can't help everyone at once. So text your small group leader. They'll be able to help you get into the Zoom chat if you have problems. I'm not saying you won't necessarily have problems, but yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys know this. I hope you know that you are loved. You are so valued. You belong here with us. So thanks for joining us. Let's head over to Zoom, head over for your small groups, and we'll get you plugged in. The Zoom link. Oh, great question. So before I transition, Aiden, great question. So the Zoom link we sent out, there is a new password. There's a new password for the Zoom. So do I need to put it? I might need to put it in the, the description. I didn't put it in the description. So give me a second. Let me do this. Where do I even go for this? See invite. I need to see the invite. Meeting, invite. Copy invitation. Okay, guys, I'm going to put it in the description of this video. I'm going to put but the password is going to be a little different. We're not going to put the password publicly so that we get rid of the weird people that want to try and hijack. Oh, somebody already put it in the chat. So the link and the password are in the chat, but don't tell all the weirdos online. So Yeah. Anyways, head over to Zoom. Get into a small group. Also, yes, it is also in the CBC Instagram bio. You are correct, Caitlin. Thank you for. Thanks for paying attention to that. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna head off the live stream. I'm gonna keep it up so I can still see the chat. So if you have questions, you can come in the chat or text your small group, call your small group leader, whatever's easiest. But I'm gonna get you guys in your small group. Thanks for joining us this week. I love you guys. I hope to see you more. Yeah. Talk to you later. Peace.